Hello everybody, here we are back again, another live stream. Hello everybody. Just playing around here with some plugins, and last week we had this issue with Complete Control where it did some very odd things with my dials, but today it's okay. It does work. Okay. See here, this is Complete Control, and I move a little bit the keyboard. You see here the dials, and the dials, they have their function. So last week we had this BIT-2 session. You always can watch it back in the, if you go to YouTube, my channel, you have in the top section, you have videos, shorts. I don't have any shorts, but then live, and in this live you can check it out. So the last time so the waveform was doing strange here. The first dial was doing strange. You see in the screen here, you see the controls, which changed a little bit with the let me see if I can change this a little bit so that you see a little bit more. Okay, here we go. There's something behind it, so I need to move around a little bit these screens for you so that we have a little bit better view. Yeah, this is better. So we have BIT-2, and up here you can see the controllers. So if you have a complete controller or machine, you can have a layout of controllers, and with BIT-2 I picked a certain range. So oscillator page 1 is for instance for the oscillator 1. Oscillator 1 has noise. If you go to page 2, you have the filter 1, which is using a vowel filter. Then if we go to page 3, it's filter 2, which is using 24 dB low pass filter. You can see here, you can see that I changed the dials up here. And inside the page 3 is then also the attack, decay, sustain, and the release. I hope you can see that. It's pretty dark. They changed it. It's not a physical dial anymore. It's more a computer generated dial. So let me see if I can make the keyboard a little bit bigger. Here's the keyboard a little bit bigger, but then of course you have not all controls visible. A bit moving around here. Let me see. So here you can see my dials. The first one you don't see, so I still need to move a little bit. Yeah, the bit is of course pretty big in my screen, but you can see, so the filter 2, the second page is using a vowel filter, so also the filter type you can change here by a dial. Okay, let's go back to, so filter 2 is the vowel filter, but that one is connected to the oscillator 1 noise. Oscillator 2, I can bring down the volume, so you hear not only mainly oscillator 2. You see on the screen also the dials moving around. So it's nice to have dials. So that's the layout. First page is the oscillator with the waveform and the volume. Then you got the main envelope, attack, decay, sustain, unleash. Then you got filter 1 with the envelope, filter 2 with the envelope, then the pitch LFO, and you also can control some of the effects here. So I can put on chorus. Control the mix. Change the parameters a little bit. I'll put it off, and then the second one. Then you get the ARP control. The ARP control is essentially on, off, but you also can say 1 octave, 2 octave. You can change the step amount, the step number, which is down here. You know what we last week also said. So you can record it as a parameter. And then we have for page the tuning of each step, because with the arpeggiator you can use in sequencer mode, which is also possible in the normal ARP mode, to tune each step here. And then we have this under a dial. So I'm changing now the first 8 steps, or the steps 9 until 16. So you have and velocity control over the sequencer. Free row you can change, so you also can change the arpeggiator here. Shut down the noise. Uh-oh, wrong notes. Nice. Or I can change the filter type, so I also can go to notch. Or here the fast envelopes. So that's cool to have dials. So if you have some beat, let's see if I have a beat. I don't know if I have a beat. Different filter. First page, adding in the noise. So you can see it up here, what I'm doing. It's a bit dark. I preferred the earlier version, which has real dials. So now you only have a kind of computer animated. So these are all the pages. And you see, by having controller, it's really cool to freak around. Okay, everybody, welcome. Another live stream. Yes, I still have a little bit of the cold. I had 2 heavy colds this year. Last October, I had a nasty one, which lasted 4 weeks, and then a few weeks back again a cold. So we are all longing for the spring weather So we need to have a little bit patience. We are still having a lot of rain. Sometimes we have sun here in the Netherlands, but the last weeks were a lot of rain. So yeah, the controller sounds real. Studio asked about this controller. Yeah, now everything works fine. So I don't know what happened last week. The first dial went totally high wire here on the complete control. You see it in the upper left corner, or you see it here in the user interface here on this one. So let's talk about the news. What we're gonna do today. We have a question from FirstByte, which I'm gonna address. Then, yeah, you see here, complete control works very nice with BIT-2. We are working on also Albino-3. Let me see if that one already pops up here in complete control. It should. Maybe first I have to do a rescan. That could be very well the case. So we are tagging. So here you have then this feature in here where you have the menu. Let me see. No. Okay, I need to get used to this new layout from complete control. So that to show you how cool it is to use controllers. If you have a question, let me know. The last thing I like to show you, which is in progress, is Prisma. And this is Prisma version 06, but it still has some bugs. Because we are working on, and you can see it here, that you can load in a Go2X and Albino-3 into Prisma. So here, Albino-3, Go2X. What happens is with Go2X, the presets don't show up, and the same for Albino-3. So it's playing. We put a layout for it, so the edit layout you see is available also for the Go2X, that you can use this parameter with the multi-control page. So we still need to do a few bug fixes, and one of the fixes what we also need is that it currently BIT-2 suddenly disappeared in this version. So I still have the original bit, but BIT-2 for some reason disappeared. So it still has some bugs, but it's work in progress. And the reason why Prisma sometimes takes time to update is because it's programmed by our Apple Mac programmer. And as you know, Mac recently years changed constantly their OS system each time something else was needed to fix. So, and yeah, picture that he needs to update, and if you take all the legacy plugins, which by the way are all now VST3, if you take them all in account, it's over 30 plugins he needs to upload again, fix the issue, then again, suddenly Mac changes something, and then he needs to reprogram again things inside each plugin and upload again. So that's the reason why Prisma sometimes is a little bit slow in catching up. And okay, yeah, vitamin D, somebody says vitamin C for my cold. Yeah, I need to do a little bit more jogging, guys. Then my inner strength is a little bit better. I need to catch up with my jogging sessions again. And yeah, no beer. I'm not a beer drinker. Chips, I like chips. Yeah. Okay, welcome everybody in the chat room. Also, ABC, do you beat me, King? It's a French channel. He likes a bit too nice for doing West Coast least. Oh, cool, for hip hop type of things. So Prisma, it's work in progress. It's not there yet. So if it can load, so it can, you see, it loads in Albino-3. I can go to the next preset here. And also with Go2, I can go to another preset with Go2. Combine Go2. So that was a combination of Albino-3 and Go2X. So what I mostly do in Prisma when I create presets, I go open the sounds here, and then I go to the amp envelope, which is here, and set that one pretty different, close attack, and also the release a little bit more closed. And I will do the same with Go2X. So I set the envelope of the amp a little bit shorter, and then I address here, and in this case I can call this the slow attack, and then I would call this one the release. So, and then I pick in layer 1, and you see in layer 1 all the parameters which are selected in the easy part page is the ADSR attack of the amp. Where is this baby? Here it is. And the layer 2, which is Go2X, I also take the attack of the amp envelope. Then I throw this open. Same for the release. I take here from layer 1 the release of the amp, and of course from layer 2 then also from Go2X the envelope release. Throw it open, and then it changes. So you get a very interesting sound, isn't it? So, so if you say, okay, this is too long, then you can change this. Here I could say, because with Albino it uses a flanger and a stereo delay, I could shut down the stereo delay and use instead the stereo delay. So this is how I shut it down. Okay, you don't see it. Oh, sorry guys. So I opened the user interface. First thing of Albino-3 is a flanger, so I keep that one in. But the stereo delay I put off because I could use then the stereo delay of Prisma itself, which is then a bit more saving the CPU. The same goes for Go2X. It uses a chorus and then the delay. Okay, I shut down the delay. So it sounds already a little bit drier. And if I shut down the slow attack and the release again, you see, no delay. So, and here I could say then, no, I would use this one. Delay, stereo delay. And then I need to pick in the FX section, of course, here the stereo delay. Pick left 1/4 node and one right hand side. I would take 1/4 dotted. So very, very nice, smooth delay. And it's the case with the FX setup, which have 4 FX. It's like a mixer. So if I go back to the layers, the multi-control page, I need to control the layer 1 FX send. And from layer 2, also the FX send. And here's the FX send, and then I open this. I would not make it 33.6%. I'm not sure if I should go further. So you hear it? That's nice. I also can, here I could then, for instance, control the filters, change them a little bit. That's a little bit more tricky sometimes. I need to see which type of filter is used, because the Albino-3 has cream filter and silk filter. Well, this preset uses the cream filter. So I need to layer 1 cut off cream, and then also from filter 2 the cream, and then from go to X layer 2 also the filter frequency. So layer 1, let's see what happens. Oh, that's interesting. Well, okay, so I keep that in. And then, of course, I go this slow attack and... You'll get a very nice spooky sound. Let's see how the volume is. And you see this moving thing, what you hear. That's in the XY. Okay, let's save this one. So this would be a nice one to add. And I would call this save preset. And then I give it a new name. And then move it over to the pad sounds, of course, once. Bank folder. Pads. Super pads. Go to X Albino. Go to X Albino pad. That's how I call it. Hopefully the name is not too long. Save. Well, it fixes. So that's a nice preset. Because you don't have yet the Prisma. I cannot upload this preset for you because you don't have the Prisma which loads in Albino-3 and Go X. But that will be is a nice, cool new sound. Somebody asking about Prisma is also a plugin in your list. So oh, very long release, isn't it? Or maybe a little bit shorter. So again, yes, I know it is already exists. Yeah, Prisma simply loads in as a plugin. It produces a excuse me, on a PC you have a standalone icon on the desktop. On your Mac you need to go to applications to double click the to double click the Prisma standalone version. But also it appears in the VST3 list under Synth, so it's a plugin. Go to X is nice for dance hall leads. Yeah, it's there is no update for rack extension. simply because rack extension has a limited format in terms of size, and Go2X is simply too big for it because it did grow, yeah, pretty much a lot. It doesn't fit. Unlucky, it doesn't fit. Okay, here it is, Go2X, because yeah, the size, you see down here, we have a lot of new features in Go2X. The sequencer became the features we also have in the dynamic steps number. So it's simply too big for rack extension. And we notice also then after Reason made VST3 and VST possible as a plugin format, that the rack extension sales drop dramatically. So there's not that much rack extension sales anymore, at least at our side. Because I think we have people then prefer the VST because they can use that also in a different environment. We're working on a new plugin. I cannot show it yet to you, which is going to be an FX plugin, hopefully at the end of this month. Not sure about that. We could also be early May. And we work on a new instrument which involves power chords. It's going to be very, very cool. I did sample power chords. I have added over 500 samples, so it was a big operation. It's a bit similar to RG, but the focus will be on power chords and with some new features, of course. Okay. Then, of course, we're working on getting, excuse me, where is it again? I lost it. The instrument. Okay, I lost, where is it? Too long. The list is too long here. Yeah, working on the NKS of Albino-3 Legend, so that's going to be working in your Komplete control. So maybe I can show it up if I do here a preferences. No, I don't need that screen. I need the menu. No. No. Uh-oh. No. Preferences. Yeah, okay. Library, rescan. Oops. Okay, but something pops up now. 1 second. See, so currently that's a big operation to tag all the presets of Albino-3. I do this not the whole day because then you get a little bit of brain damage. So it's hopefully next week we can send it to Native Instrument for a checkup. But here you can see it already appearing Albino-3. Then you see the you see also layout, which is a bit more difficult with the layout because with the Albino-3 you already have a kind of 4-layer option. So it does, in case it has a layer preset, it will do only the first layer. And of course it has then the filter 1, filter 2, So that's work in progress. Then you got here all the presets. Here you got all the banks, and you see, yeah, it's work in progress. All banks, this it should show far more. Not sure why it doesn't show all of them, but it's work in progress. So hopefully that will be out of the order very soon. And then you can use, because that's a cool thing about this Komplete Kontrol. If you search on a particular sound, you search not only among all plugins, but also among the native instrument things, the whole range of Komplete Kontrol library from all kind of third-party developers. So you search cross-platform, that's cross brands, and that's the cool thing about the Komplete Kontrol. The only disadvantage is if you want to share your song with another person, he also needs to have Komplete Kontrol. I'm not sure if there's a Komplete Kontrol player, but so we're working on that as well. Then we had a question today from let me see if I can lift it up for you. No, that's another one. Oh yeah, that's one I want to show you. You see my webcam is another position, different position. Yeah, last week it didn't work. On the left-hand side, I also moved things a little bit because I'm gonna play live twice I'm gonna play live in England. And in England, I take with me on the left side here, you can see the Pro 3 and the Mo for tweaking live stuff. On the other hand, other side is the Take 5 from Sequential, which I also take with me. And these old ladies you see on the left side, I'll keep them at home, of course, because they are too old, too fragile. I just replaced the Jupiter 8. Its power supply, a very modern power supply, is now inside of it, which means that it generates less heat. So and I placed also new dust covers inside of it. So it's back again in perfect shape. Did clean it up because I had to open it. I did clean it up. A little bit of dust was inside of it. But yeah, what to expect after more than 40 years. Down here you see the SH5, which is a very nice synthesizer also from Roland. The Prophet 600 I already have for ages. On the Minimoog, of course. Then here the M1. Not M1, the M from Waldorf. I created my very first signature sound bank was for the Waldorf, which is down here, Waldorf Microwave, and I converted these sounds into the Waldorf M, which is most recent version. The Waldorf M really sounds very nice. It is a bit more mellow compared to the microwave. Microwave can be a little bit aggressive, I think, down to the filter type. The M sounds, I think, very close to original PPG from that perspective. So my two sound sets, which I created early 90s for the microwave, are available for the Waldorf M. Then you see here a sequencer from Dubfler and a little Euro rack, which are also sometimes used on stage. Down here you see the big modular System 22, which are also used on stage, but I keep that one now at home. Instead of that, I use then, instead of this left side, which is the, I use now on stage the Pro 3 from Sequential and the little Fatty 2 to do some live tweaking. And of course, I have then two laptops. One laptop I really use as a super synthesizer with all, of course, our own plugin, but also the Mellotron. And the others, the other laptop does sequencing with Cubase, sending to the hardware, but also using, of course, the built-in plugins, BIT-2, Punch, Predator, you name it. So in May, I will be playing live. So if you are located in England and not far away from Nottingham, so let me show you here, if I can increase the size. Diode Electronic Festival. I will play together with Ron Boots. It's pretty much the Berlin School style of music. It's the Saturday 18th of May. Thorsten Quinching, most likely I did butcher that name, who is also currently playing in Tangent Dream, will be playing live. Callisto, which is David Wright and Stephen Whitlane. Peter Gallon will playing. So, and of course, if you have time, you're not that far away from Nottingham, check it out. It's called Diode Electronic Music Festival. And of course, I would love to have a little chat with you if you are going over to this event. So 18th of May, Saturday, in Nottingham in the Bonington Theatre. Okay, let's go back to... I don't know. Joan asks about the sale in the Diode Festival. I have no idea. It's still way out, of course, and I'm in Plymouth. Nick is telling Nottingham is a bit too far out. Well, John Iris is coming over, so he's gonna say also hello that Saturday. So if you're in the neighborhood of Nottingham, well, it's a very nice, relaxing music, a very nice vibe, and hope to see you there. Okay, about BIT-2. I had a question. Let me open this question. And it's in Dutch. It's from FirstByte, which you're going to play also a demo from him. And he asked, when does the free LFO reset? Well, essentially, a free LFO, if you go, let's say, to an analog synthesizer, it doesn't reset. It just keeps on playing, doesn't reset. What we did with our virtual synthesizers, and let me take here an example simply by default preset, is that if you press play, it starts on a 0. So even, but then of course it keeps on going. So let me give an example with a only filter. I open the, here you see it, let me sync it. You see the LFO's only filter. Clearly here the wow, wow, wow. Speed. Okay. Then you have the different modes. Poly mode means that each node has its own LFO. So the timing of the second node plate is going to be different because I play it on a different. And you got all kind of wobbly thing. But each time I hit a note, it starts the LFO, so this wobble thing. Mono mode means that I only have one LFO for all the voices. So each time when I play another note, it resets. Okay, and that's of course not for all sounds that handy. If you want to have a, let's say, a pad sound. Each time you hit a different note, it starts resetting. Well, an option is then, of course, poly mode, but then it could be too complex sounding because each note. So you use free, and free means that it doesn't restart each time you hit a note. So the LFO, one LFO, keeps on playing. Well, the question was, it's free row, but if you want to use this in music, you don't have control, even if it's tempo sync on the starting point. But what we did is the moment when you press play, it starts on a 0. So if I go here to the sequencer, and that's an important thing. Here you see, I go to up here, see this here? I start on a full bar, bar 21, and play the note. Internally, it did reset. So it keeps on free running, but it does reset. Keep in mind, of course, if you are in a music beat and you are not on the first bar, maybe somewhere in between, like 20 bar 21 with the fourth the fourth note, fourth part in this bar, then of course it starts also on a zero, but then it's again different. Still not bad. Let me see if I can have a very offset thing. Okay, let's try again. So I have not I don't start at the first bar of the beat. Then it shifts, so that you have to keep in mind to have always starting on the first bar. If you want to have, okay, 21, so on the first bar, and then it does reset in the play. All our plugins do this automatically. If it's the FX or the synth, we built it in that even that it is free roll, it still does start on the zero, on the initial start, to keep things nicely in timing, especially of course with tempo sync. And that's the most. So I could also use a saw down. See how that one works. Not very tight. Is it me? Well, could be. Oh, I have a slow attack, of course. It's not that tight as I would expect. Let me see. Yeah, it sings, but or maybe it's the sound which I... So it's the play mode which is then important. So that's with the free roll. Doesn't sound that exciting for me currently. Let's see if it happens with a full bar. Ah, now I know why it's not working. There was already a note playing, messing up. Okay, so let me see where it was. Ah, yeah, you see here, guys, that's why it did not sing, because it was interfered by other notes. Okay, there's always a logic reason for things that go wrong. So now it should be better. So now with free roll. Let's take this saw down. Of course, I need to start again. It's a half a bar. So that's with the free. So I hope this answer helps. Is if you use free and tempo sync, you can have a nice tempo sync movement, but always start on the first bar so that it has the right trigger. Okay. Oh, the rack extension version. Yeah, the rack extension version of BIT is the first version. What it doesn't have is the extra features in the ARP especially. And of course, the BIT has also different play modes with multi-control setup, which is here. If you have a polyphonic expression keyboard, so this mode, poly MPE multi-polyphonic expression. Then you can see lock on. Then of course the up will not work anymore, but then you have essentially the option, and of course you need to address a few things. You see lock mode on does blink here. By the way, which is also interesting if you have the ARP. So if you go to an R bank, here I have an R bank. Lock is on, so it doesn't play, so put it off. And now I can also play lock. Then go to a different preset, which would be maybe then not a R preset, but simply, okay, let's go to the bank manager, pick here one of the bases, and then suddenly, yeah, this base. So that's new, the lock mode. So if I put it off, then it's again. Yeah, you need a multi-polyphonic expression keyboard, a Rolly for testing. Let me show you. Whoops, it's pretty heavy. I have this Rolly thing with this rubber keyboard, which is polyphonic expression. You have this newly brand with real keys, which is more, but it's pretty expensive. And the thing you need to keep in mind is with these settings, you need to keep a very high band setting because you can really do some vibrato with the keyboard. So that you need to have a setting for band up and band down for 48 semitones. You need to set a bit to all 60 MIDI channels. So there are some practical things you need to do, but yeah, there is this option. And this lock play we also added, for instance, in Blue 2. I'm not sorry, Blue 3. I'm not sure if it's already in Predator 3. I'm not sure about that. But so yeah, that about the question about the LFOs. So if you have the free mode and you do tempo sync, start always on the first beat to keep it. Okay, looking in the chat room. Yeah, you need to take care of the synths over time. So what is very important, what I have, because I have a basement studio, is to have a dehuman to get the moist out of the air. So especially in the summer, you have this condensing. If you have a basement studio, the temperature in the basement is different from outside. You have a lot of warm, moisture air coming in, and then so to have, I cannot pronounce it, humidity, yeah, something like that, you know. So it takes the moisture out of the studio because moisture, too high humidity causes the print boards to go rusty, and then you have a problem. So it's keep your environment on a very high level, and then the synthesizer will last a lot longer. Yeah, I cannot pronounce it. Dehumidity. No. Oh yeah, it's getting late. Yeah. But I guess you get my point. Yeah. Yeah, English is very moist. Yeah, talk about the Netherlands. It's not very different. So yeah, it's really, or sometimes people use an airco for this. It's also an option, but that keeps your electronic metal devices better. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, Tom Servo asked for if we have Albino-3 as rack extension. No, currently we are not planning more rack extensions. We have the current product line as rack extension, and of course with rack extensions, you have essentially a problem that you not always can have all the features. So for instance, we did Vector also as a VST, and this looks pretty much like a rack extension. So therefore it looks different compared to the other instruments we have. This is really a rack extension type of thing in a VST shape. And with rack extension, you always see the modulation wheel, but you have limited options in terms of size. So an Albino-3 or a BIT-2 or a Go-to-X, it will not fit anymore because there are too many pages, sub-pages and that kind of thing. But still, of course, the current line which we have as rack extension is very good, very cool. We have this great RP Verb inside of it. We have the RP Distort. We have the original Predator with some additional things. We have Quad, Vector. But yeah, not everything is possible to create as a rack extension. And of course, the sub-boom bass is inside as a rack extension. Okay, so that was a little bit for today. Next week we continue, and it's the case that we have a demo. I need to look it up. 1 second. Don't worry, from FirstByte we are gonna play. So give me 1 second because I need to do a little trick to get it in front of you. And that was also his question. So let me see if I can have that one. Oh, here it is. So,
heb je een hekel aan advertenties?
Oh, yeah.
Wil je in alle rust naar je muziek luisteren?
We'll get some
Meld je
ads.
dan aan voor SoundCloud Go, zodat je reclamevrij en offline kunt luisteren.
Oh, thank you.
Met SoundCloud heb je toegang tot meer muziek dan welk ander streamingplatform dan ook.
Oh, cool.
Meld je vandaag nog aan voor SoundCloud Go.
Bye bye, lady. Here we go. Don't worry, it's called. From FirstByte. Uses a lot of raw Papen stuff. And I recognize also a nice snare from Punch. Okay, nice track, isn't it? Okay, here it comes more noise. So yeah, we had some commercials in between. Thanks for watching, guys. We catch up next week, Thursday. Thanks for watching. And FirstByte, thank you for sharing this nice song. Bye-bye, guys.